Hi, my name is Ellie and I'm taking annual leave for my mental health. Welcome to my channel. I'm taking 4 days of annual leave. Today is Thursday, I'm taking tomorrow as Friday, and then I've got 2 days in the weekend, which is not annual leave because I don't work the weekend, and I've got Monday, Tuesday, which I'm also taking leave. Here we are. I am taking leave for my mental health, as I said, because I have not had a break for like a whole year. It is hard being a parent working full time. I have a 18-month-old now, actually as of 2 days ago. She's 18 months, that's crazy. And I, at 6 months old of my daughter, not me, gosh, went back to full-time work. I did work 4 days a week at 36 hours a week. No, 32 hours a week. And then, I think it must have been in June last year, I went back up to 36 hours. And then from when my boss went on maternity leave, I went back up to 40 hours a week. And it's just, I don't have time to breathe, which I know a lot of parents don't. I just, for myself, need time to breathe. So I decided finally I will take some leave. And if I could do a staycation where Byron and Eleanor, my daughter, go somewhere else for a whole week and I just stay home, I would. But they can't because I can't force my family out of the house. So instead I have taken some time off work and I'm doing whatever I want on these 4 days. In between, obviously there's the weekend. It is the end of Lunar New Year and my best friend Nicolette is Malaysian, Chinese. So we are going to be going to her parents' house to celebrate for that. And unfortunately, I think it is Elimination Chamber from WWE on this Sunday. So random. My husband's really into WWE. His friend is too. Hi Jordan, if you ever watch these. They'll be coming, well, Jordan will be coming over to our house to watch WWE, which means I have to look after our child, therefore it does not count as time off. Anyway, let's talk about my plans, because that's what I wanted to do, is talk to you about my plans. I have some life admin stuff for me doing this morning. It's about 9 o'clock now, and I had the goal to myself that I'd do all my life admin stuff by 9 and then I'd start doing the fun stuff. And that included uploading my latest video, which went up probably 2 weeks ago now, from when this will go up. It was my laneway video. I had some issues with Premiere Pro, so I was, you know, getting that done. And I wanted to do some stuff, so I've got the washing on. I'm going to do a little bit more, but I think it's fine because I actually finished early. And then we're going to get some stuff done. We've got some big plans. So the main things I want to get done is film at least 6 or 7 of my Granny Square videos. If you haven't seen that, go look at my shorts or my TikTok or my Instagram. I have been making Granny Squares this year as part of the challenge. I'm making every single square from this book this year. That's all it is. And I'm behind, honestly. I thought I could do it and I realized actually doing 2 squares a week is really hard when you have to film them all. I thought last year I made so many squares for my reading blanket, I can do it. No, this is different. This is a whole different ball game because it's actually way harder to film every single square. So I'm gonna try get through at least 7. I'm hoping for more, to be honest. If I can film like the next 2 months worth of squares, that'd be freaking great. The thing is, part of that is I actually want to finish some of the projects, so it may not be I finish the square, like I'll finish the squares themselves, but then I'll show you the final project for some of them, which is a hard thing, so I don't want to just make the squares and be like, here's the finished square, but I want to do more of what I did for my Valentine's Day scarf, where I show you the square and then I show you the finished project. So that is one thing. Then I've got 2 other projects I really want to get done, and then everything else is just up. I can do whatever I want. I have a few ideas and I will chat about them, but nothing's set in stone. The first project, which the yarn has just come out of, because I nearly finished it last night, but then I decided I needed a bit of a break, and I was like, I've got 4 days off from work, why do I need to finish it right now? Is this cardigan, which actually will have been my last video, I'm pretty sure, now that I think about it. This is a baby cardigan for my daughter. It is the Lightly Toasted Baby version by Irichi. I'm sorry if I say her name wrong. I have been filming a video about it, so go watch that video. But I just gotta sew it all together and then do the trim. So that'll be easy. That's my first project, I think, today. And then the second one is the one I've been putting off. It is my knitted project. It is this, ooh, so close to dropping some stitches. It is this top jumper that I've been knitting, and I realized recently I knitted one whole panel on needles that were 0.5 bigger than I meant to be, but I'm just keeping it. Who cares? It's my first knitted jumper that will be finished, so I need to finish that, and that's going to be my afternoon project to hopefully get most of the way with that sleeve done, if not the whole way. We'll see. And then there's one more project I actually have, which is not really a project, but I have some knitted pieces, which is the knitted pieces I did earlier this year. 2 headbands and a top that I made last year. I just need to block them, so that is hopefully a plan for tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. I've got a load of washing on now, so I don't think I'll have space to put them on my washing line area if I block them today. So that's tomorrow. So those are I would say the 3 or 4 main things I want to do over the next 4 days, which I think is possible. So yeah. And then I also have another project I want to make, and that is, I have a romper I want to make. It is the Tate romper by, ooh, I can't remember the person's name. I will link the information down below. This is the fabric I picked out for it. I have the pattern, I want to make it, so I actually just need to send, this will be a next week project too, like Monday, Tuesday. I need to send the files for printing, so I want to get them printed on A1 paper. And then I also have another project I would love, a sewing project, so I will have like 2 crochet, 3 crochet knitting projects, and then 2 sewing projects to do. So let's get going, let's make some stuff. First project done, on to the next one. I have had my lunch, I've had a rest, and now I'm going to knit until hopefully, I mean I always struggle with knitting because I always sort of give up. Not give up, I just get bored. So I may move upstairs at some point, but I'm going to try see how much of this I can get through before I have to go pick up Eleanor. So I've got 4 hours, just under 4 hours until I have to go get her, so let's see how much I can get done. I am doing good progress. I've got about 2 more repeats, well like 2 more increases, so 8 rows, 16 rows to go, and then I'll be done with this sleeve, which will be good. And then this is my other sleeve. I just need to figure out, because I've never done it before, how to put my needles back in to then take off a few rows, but it'll be good, it'll be good. And then this will, I think I'll get this jumper done tomorrow, fingers crossed. But it is now about 3:30, 3:45. I've got about 45 minutes before I gotta go get my daughter. I'm walking to pick her up today because I need to get out and do some exercise. So I'm going to actually do some video editing and other stuff, some live admin, and then tonight after we get home from dinner, because we're going out for dinner tonight, I will hopefully do some more knitting. So let's see how it goes. Morning, it is Tuesday? No, it is Friday. Here's it's where I'm up to. So this is the sleeve I finished last night. Surprise! I finished one sleeve, and then I did my very first lifeline sort of. I did surgery on this one, and I'm now just going to do 3 rows of knitting, 2 of knit, 1 of purl. No, 2 of purl, 1 of knit, and then bind it off, and that'll be pretty good. And then I'll be done with this, and I can attach everything together. My camera's going to die, so I'm actually going to go get the second battery, and I'm going to watch Bridgerton while I knit on the couch this morning. My goal is to have this jumper finished by 1 PM because I'm going to Moustache Cookies, if you've heard of them, from New Zealand. They are a cookie place, and their West Auckland one is really close to me because I live in West Auckland, and they have just released a banoffee one. I love banoffee, so I've pre-ordered some because I didn't want to go all the way there and then they'd be sold out. So I'm going to be picking my order up at like 1 PM, which means I'm going to go to Spotlight because they're really close to Spotlight, and I'm going to go hopefully get a new crochet hook for my 3mm, maybe 3.5mm size. I don't like the one that I currently have. The handle turns. It's the Boye brand, B-O-Y-E. I've had it since I started crocheting basically, and it's just giving up on me, so I'm keen to spend a bit more money to get a nicer one that doesn't have a handle that turns as you're crocheting, because it makes it really hard. And so I haven't been doing anything with the smaller size actually in a while, but I've got a project planned that does require a smaller sized hook, so we'll buy that today. And I've still got a Spotlight voucher from Christmas, so I'm going to try use that on that plus some yarn for the same project. So Do you ever just spend like 2 months knitting something and it's just really massive? And I knew it was going to be big because I could tell, but I didn't expect it to be this big. Technically I've done it. Is it massive? Way too big for me. Way too big. But I have finished it. This actually reminds me of a project I did in my second year of uni, and the sleeves are just really long, but then I ended up going with it because it's kind of fashion. But this is not my fashion. This is like someone really cool could pull this off, but Ellie could not pull this off. So I tried. On the upside, I've finished my first knitted jumper. I'm not proud of myself. I'm proud that I did it. I have learned that I need to learn to be easier on myself. I need to learn to do easier projects. Because this was kind of hard. It was a lot of counting, and I think my next project, I know my next project is just my single colour, no stripes, no nothing fancy, just single colour, single knit. I kind of want to do like a top-down raglan. That'd be kind of fun because you can see how it's fitting as you do it. You don't get too far without it fitting badly, but anyway, this is my jumper. I feel like that girl from Codename Kids Next Door or whatever. Is that the show number 3 or something, if you know who I mean? Is that number 3? The girl with the really long jumper. I don't know. I'm glad I did it, but it is now midday, so I bet I hit my goal if you exclude the ends, and I'm gonna go get some lunch. Well, I've got some lunch in the fridge. I'm gonna eat something and then I'm gonna go out and get my cookies. Good morning, it is Monday and I haven't spoken to you over the weekend because I just didn't really film, but I did work on some stuff, mainly this here, which you're actually balancing on the cone for. This here, if you look close, you can't really see, but it is a basket weave jumper. This is actually the Sydney sweater by Crochet by Sky, and I'm making this with iron. However, I guess I didn't have enough, but I was hoping I could make it work. I definitely don't have enough yarn for a whole jumper, so I'm trying to figure out what my next option is. My idea this year is to stash bust, so the cone that I'm using, which is I've wound some off because I've got to use 2 ends, and that's the problem, is I've only got 1 cone, 1 kg of it, and it's a dark blue, and I don't think I have anything that still goes with it, but I do think there is an acrylic at Spotlight. This is 100% acrylic that would work with it. So yes, this is my plan today, is to do a few tests with other colours while I'm here, but I finally got it to the right width. I actually took me 2 days to get this to the right width because I was doing math wrong, and that's my greatest weak point, is the math on stuff when I have to do it. I've realised I really don't love made to measure patterns. I don't mind it when I'm doing it myself, for myself, but when I'm doing a made to measure pattern that's for another person and I don't have a reference, and I just find them so much more difficult because it's a lot of math. I like the ones, I quite like the raglan ones where they give you some measurements in the beginning and then the rest is all up to you. That's kind of handy. Had to measure Brian's width and length, and that's how I figured out all the measurements for this, so it was kind of easy, but yeah, so he doesn't know he's getting the jumper, obviously. But this will redeem the fact that I made him a jumper 2 years ago and it wasn't great, so here is his redemption jumper. Be your Hi, it's me again. I've got a slight problem. Here, my take romper. There is my pattern, there's my fabric. I just reread the pattern and I bought the wrong width of fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this fabric into a dress, and when I have more money allowed for spending like on fabric, I'm going to buy the fabric for the take romper, and I'll buy the right width. I really like this fabric though, so I need to find something similar. I love the check-ish thing, but obviously I don't want a dress in a thing in this fabric, so I'll find something similar. But for now we're going to make this a dress because I do really want to use this fabric. I bought it for a reason. Do I need another dress? No, but I will make it anyway. Actually, I've got a good, I'm going to, now that I talk about it, I'm going to use the top of my laneway dress that I made the other week, which is also the Jo March dress, and I'm going to line it correctly as well because I've done that before. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to basically make another one of those. So let's do that. If you want me, be my bunny, baby, please. I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking for my ride or die. Somebody who likes danger. Somebody who will steal my nights. Love so bad, call it criminal. Got me good, not myself at all. I don't mind if this means doing time. Be my bunny, baby. I can be your Clyde if you want me. Be my bunny, baby, please. Be my bunny, baby. I can be your Clyde if you want me. Be my bunny, baby, please. Rob me blind, know where I lay. I got love here in the bay. On the run and in my heart. Swear that we won't be apart. With you, I feel like our legacy will never die. With you, I feel like alive, alive. Be my bunny, baby. I can be your Clyde if you want me. Be my bunny, baby. I've finished my dress and I am in love. I know I did want to obviously make this as the Tate romper, and I will do a Tate romper in the future, but I think this is still a really cool dress and I 100% will wear it, so totally worth. I just think, first of all, I'm proud of myself. I only did one little muck up, and that was when I was pulling through the lining, like doing the burrito method. I just had to hand stitch part of the thing closed, but the rest of it went really smooth, which is crazy for me. I took my time. I actually rewatched Carly's video on the Jo March dress to remember how to do this, because I don't have her Patreon anymore, and that is where the pattern breakdown was, and that's the only one I didn't download apparently. I have all the other ones, just not that one, but that's fine. Overlooking everything, all the stuff, I did all the prep steps and it really helped. Who would have thought? So yeah, it's fully overlocked and lined. In hindsight, I should have encased the skirt into the top, but I didn't because I could not be bothered. That's fine. I mean, it still works. It's just got a overlocked seam. But yeah, I just think the pattern's fun. The fit is very me. I can wear this for a long time. And the next thing I'm going to do, I don't know, I think I'm going to do some testing for Byron's jumper, see how it looks with different colours. And then I had something else I wanted to sew, but now I've forgotten, so obviously it's not important enough for me to remember. Or maybe I'll remember later, but proud of myself for finishing one thing this morning. It is 11 o'clock. It's not even 11 o'clock, it's close to 11 o'clock, and I've already finished a dress. And I've taken some pictures, gonna do some editing of them so I can send them to my friends and family. You'll see this on Instagram around the time this comes out probably. Okay, it's been a while and I have basically done nothing. I have done some things. I did a swatch for a knit. I am just really determined to use up some yarn, and I was thinking I want like a nautical themed like lightweight sweater. So here's the swatch I did, but the thing is I don't have a pattern for this. I'm thinking of maybe getting the Cumulus sweater from Petite Knit. I just don't know if it'll fit me because I know her stuff is petite. But yeah, that's that one. And to be honest, knowing my track record, it probably would fit me because I make it too big. So I'm thinking of getting that. However, that's $13 or $14 and I obviously am trying not to spend money. So what I'm going to do is maybe see how I feel after I do my first project or my first task I'm going to tell you about soon. But I have all this yarn here which I purchased for a vest which I wanted to make for autumn, and I probably should do that. But if I don't feel like it, so that would be my first knit project. If I don't feel like making this, I've got another project that I can do, which is this, and I can buy a pattern. What I have to do first is create 6 squares from this book. I have to do 6 videos, the next 3 weeks worth of videos to do this today, and then hopefully I have enough time today because it takes me about 20 to 30 minutes per square depending on how hard they are. I know I'm going to do one really easy square just to get through it. The other ones I'm going to try to start off some other projects I've got planned, just the beginning stages obviously. But yeah, I'm going to do this first, and then once I do that I am welcome to pick up a knitting project, whether it is this one here, which I have the book here. I've got 52 weeks of easy knits. Next project I'll do, it is this one here. I think it's called a Rita? I don't know. That is the one I'm going to make, and it'll be done in this held with this, and I'm going to make it a cropped version because I don't want to make a huge long one. I am not a skinny girl and I think that would fit better for a skinny person. Anyway, all that to say is if I don't feel like making that, which should be the option I do seeing as I have the yarn and I have the pattern, then I'm going to do the Cumulus tee, I'm pretty sure by Petite Knit, in this fun nautical stripe. First square done using scrap yarn to make a tiny little pillow for my daughter. It is now 2:30 and I finished my next square, which is going to be my next project actually. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I've decided I'm making a vest, so that might be actually what I do instead of knitting tomorrow. So this is the first square. It is the spike square, and now I'm going to try out the wavy square, and I'm going to put them together and make a vest out of these squares. And I'm just going to calculate how many I need. I think it'll be 21 or 22 if I do the math correctly, but yeah, that's the square. Let's do it. Good morning, it is Tuesday. It is my last day of this vlog, my last day of leave. I'm so sad. I wish I could stay home every day. Well, not every day, but I'm enjoying it. I really needed this. Even though I was sort of like stressed myself out a little bit, I am not an overachiever. I'm just someone who wants to achieve lots, and so it's hard when I've got limited time and I don't get to achieve everything I had in mind, which is funny because actually I achieved the 2 things. I finished my cardigan for my daughter and I finished my jumper. I guess because the jumper was a bit of a fail, I feel like I have to finish something else. I made a bag. I started some new projects. Who knows? I made a dress yesterday, so I'm just going to work on that myself. I have finished a few more squares. I don't know if I filmed this one last night, but this is the spike square, this is the Beauty and Excellence square, and I'm turning them into a vest for myself, which I'm excited for. So I think my plan today is actually just to work on that. I had a conversation with Byron last night about the book that I'm doing, this one here, which you would have seen, this one. I was planning on making every single square this year, but I keep going through. Originally I was like randomly generating them, and then I decided to actually just generate sort of random, but generate them myself, because the issue I'm coming up with is that I see a square, I don't know what to do with it. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I need to finish a project for the square for the video. Delays me, you know. I think instead of doing that, I'm not going to aim to finish this whole book this year. I would love to do every square within the next year and a bit, like maybe a year and 3 months, so about a year and a half, which I think is possible. There's a whole lot of squares in here that are way more difficult. I was trying to do the wavy square instead of the square here, and I was just struggling. Something about it, I just think one was stressed and it just wasn't in the right mind frame to learn some new stuff. So instead of trying to get every single square done this year, I'm going to try to do it in the next year and a half. So, well, year and 3 months. So basically June next year is when I would like to have finished it all, and I'm already doing really well. What I'm going to do now is focus on getting projects done. So this is my vest project, and this is the inspo of the vest. I had it on my list to do this year anyway, if you've seen everything I want to make this year, and so here is my interpretation in different squares. I thought that'd be more fun than just doing a simple granny square vest. Use up more yarn, you know, bada bing bada boom. And then the next project I'm going to do is all of the fruit and food related products in here. Squares. I said products because I work in FMCG, which is fast moving consumer goods. I work at the support office of a food place, so food is big in my world, and that means I'd love to make all of the food based squares for a blanket for work. And that's because our office gets cold. We all complain about the cold during winter, we all complain about the heat during summer. We don't work in a fancy office, it's like a older building. And so my idea was, because I don't have a full use for every single square, I'm going to use all of the food squares to make a blanket for work, either for me or some of my co-workers if they get cold. I'd love to make another one too, but I don't know if I have the time to do that. It'd be a really great stash busting project though, to just make a blanket for work. But anyway, that's my next project after that. And then after that I don't have anything that's urgent, so I might take a look at some of the squares and see what I could turn them into. I've got some inspo. There is one project I'd love to make, and I'm going to show you the square I want to do for it. I think I've got the labyrinth square here. I have this dress on my inspo list for this year as well that I wanted to make, which is just normal granny square. I've decided I want to make it more interesting, so I'd love to make it with this. However, I want to use a specific purple yarn that I only have in cotton. I always do things in purple. I want to use up that purple yarn, and I want to do it with black because that was the inspo. The dress itself was black and white. I'll show you inspo here. And so I'd love to do it in purple and black, but I went to go Spotlight to go buy some black cotton and they had none in stock, so gotta go back to the drawing board there. I'm trying to stress myself out unintentionally by doing all these projects within the weeks and stuff so I don't miss weeks, but now I'm just going to switch to doing one video a week for sure of a square. Hopefully then the following week or so I can have a finished project or something. I don't know. It's this weird thing where I wanted to create more content because I'm enjoying it. I want to grow my content, but I also need to have the motivation to do it. Isn't that the trap everyone falls into? I don't know, but that's my little rant this morning. So gonna go make myself a tea, put on Chicago Fire, and I'm gonna make more of these squares. I have finished 1, 2, 3 middle parts. Well, actually, let me not get too ahead of myself. I finished all the middles of the Beauty and Excellence square, so I had to do 10 of those squares, so I've got 5 more to go with doing the pink part. Basically I'm batch making them because why not, but I'm getting bored, so I think I'm gonna work on something else. I may have made this jumper too big for me, but look, Lux is really loving it, isn't she? She sat here for 2 days. I forgot to film yesterday, but she sat here all day yesterday, and she's there again today, so I'm glad. Happy for her. At least she's got a new bed. Hey Lux. And at least this jumper's being used for someone other than me. I will undo it at some point. I just really don't have the effort right now. I'm so demotivated by it. So instead I'm going to knit something else. Hello, I'm back, And I think this might be where I leave you. And I know you're probably thinking, well, you're not, but it's only like 2:30 on Tuesday. However, I think for the rest of the day I'm just going to edit some video and do some other stuff. I'm not going to push myself to do anything more. However, I started knitting. This looks like I haven't done much, but I have. This is the slit of my vest. The vest is the Rite. We're probably still pronouncing that wrong, but that's from 25 Weeks of Easy Knits. I'm using 2 ends of DK and 1 end of a Super Kid Mohair mix. I don't have the yarn with me. I don't know where I put it all. I do have the yarn. This is it. But I don't have the band on it anymore. Anyway, all that to say is I'm loving it. It's going a lot better than my last knitted project. And I'm just happy with it. I think the colour is very me. It's purple, of course. And I love the feel. I can see where people would add a mohair because it's kind of fun. It makes it slightly fluffy. Just adds a little bit of texture. Yeah, I've done some mathing on this. So I did a swatch, wowie, and I decided based on the swatch what size to make. The actual vest has a long back and a shorter front. I'm just going to do same length front and back because that's more me. They could have fit me nicer. And also it says to split, or like knit until you've got 28 centimeters of length. That's basically for the splits, but I've decided to do 20 centimeters. I just thought that it was a bit nicer, a bit more my length. I held it up against myself in the mirror, did some testing. That's what I've decided to do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did and you enjoyed this like long form cozy-esque video of me just crafting, that is my vibe in and out. I am so happy with how these last few days went. I know I didn't do as much as I originally planned. Well, I did better than I originally planned, but I have looked at my expectations, and I think I'm feeling good today, this afternoon, which is good because I go back to work tomorrow, which I'm dreading. I don't hate my job, I just don't like working. No, I love working. I just wish I could be someone who crafts all day and doesn't have to do anything else. So don't we all? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel or check out my other social media. I'm posting all the time on Shorts or Reels or TikTok. I try my best. Anyway, see you guys all next time with another video. Bye!